Hi friends! So this week we read The Paper Bag Princess, all about a hero that runs off to save the prince from the dragon. Now, The Paper Bag Princess is what we call a fictional story. It's a pretend story. But there are so many real heroes that we can learn about. So I thought today I would teach you about one of my favorite heroes, Jane Goodall. Okay, this book is called Me, Jane by Patrick McDonnell, and you're going to see why Jane is a hero. Jane had a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. She cherished Jubilee and took him everywhere she went, and Jane loved to be outside. She watched birds making their nests, spiders spinning their webs, and squirrels chasing one another up and down trees. I bet you guys see a lot of that in your yard, outside your house too. Jane learned all that she could about the animals and plants she studied in her backyard and read about it in books. Ooh, look, see, there's the Alligator Society. She's learning about the alligator there. And here she's learning about birds. Here she's learning about cobra, which I thought was a snake, but it looks like she drew a bird. And here she's got an elephant and a giraffe. Oh, Kfirah. Kfirah is a type of bird. One day, curious Jane wondered where eggs came from, so she and Jubilee snuck into Grandma Nut's chicken coop. They hid behind some straw and stayed very still. Oh, you see the little chicken coming in? And observed the miracle. She got to watch the chicken lay an egg. That is so cool. It was a magical world full of joy and wonder, and Jane felt very much a part of it. These pages are a little hard to turn. Jane often climbed her favorite tree, which she named Beech. She would lay her cheek against its trunk and seem to feel the sap flowing beneath the bark. Jane could feel her own heart beating, beating, beating. With the wind in her hair, she read and reread the books about Tarzan of the Apes, in which another girl, also named Jane, lived in the jungles of Africa. Maybe you guys know that story, Tarzan and Jane. Jane dreamed of a life in Africa also. See, here's a little map where you could see Africa. It's very far away. A life living with and helping all animals. Oh my goodness, that would be so cool. At night, Jane would tuck Jubilee into bed, say her prayers, and fall asleep. To awake one day, oh, she looks like she's older, to her dream come true. See, that's the real Jane Goodall. So Jane Goodall is one of my favorite real-life heroes. As we heard in the story, when she was little, she really wanted to move to Africa and watch and learn about animals, but everybody told her, you're not going to be able to do that, because at the time, not a lot of women had jobs. Most of the time, women stayed home. But she said, no, I want to do this. So she went to school and she learned all that she could. And then she worked and saved money until she could move to Africa. And when she got to Africa, she began working with a famous scientist. And she would watch, she'd head out into the forest where she would watch the chimpanzees. And she would watch how their families interact and learn about them. And she wrote a very famous book about it and taught us things that nobody knew before, like chimpanzees can make and use tools, which nobody knew before she took the time to learn it. And Jane Goodall is still alive today. She goes all around the world teaching people about animals and about the environment that they live in and fighting for them to keep them safe and to protect our planet and our animals that are in it. She also has a special program called Roots and Shoots, which is all about teaching young children about environmentalism. And she has a little note here I'm going to read for you. You see that's a picture of Jane Goodall today. So her note says, "Each one of us makes a difference. We cannot live through a single day without making an impact on the world around us, and we have a choice as to what sort of difference we make. The life of each one of us matters in the scheme of things, and I encourage everyone, especially young people, to make the world a better place for people, animals, and the environment. Children are motivated when they see the positive results that their hard work can have. As I travel, I met hundreds of Roots and Shoots groups, and they are always eager to tell Dr. Jane what they've been doing and how they are making a difference in their communities. Whether they've done something simple, like recycling or collecting trash, those are things that we can do all the time, right? Or something that requires a great deal of effort, like restoring a wetland or raising money for a dog shelter. They are a continual source of inspiration for me and for other children around the world. I invite you to get involved."